All right. Hello, hard-headed fans. How are we doing today? You're probably a little freaked out right now about who is on this pod. Number one, no Fetty. So
Devastated.
classic Baylor stuff. Marissa, this is Marissa, by the way. You gotta
Hello. What's
give
up?
Fetty, you gotta give Fetty, but you gotta give Fetty some crap for not bailing.
Oh, literally so much crap. Like, I think it's just because I was on. He was intimidated just because I'm me. It has to be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That's classic Fetty stuff. But he left me some questions, so don't worry.
Of
We'll
course.
get
Riveting.
to them at the end. All right, all right. Welcome on, hard-headed fans. You're like, what the heck's going on? What's this episode about? All right, so this episode's about hockey.
Woo.
I know. Yes, hockey fans. Hockey fans are loving this episode. We don't talk hockey much, but this is a very special occasion, so I thought it would be awesome. For those of you who don't know, the MSU Mavericks, Minnesota State, made it to the national championship game in college hockey, and that's my alma mater. So I thought, you know what, we'll bring on somebody really close to the team and let her give us some cool deets.
Yes, sir.
Marissa is the digital content manager and
Yes.
team interviewer for the team.
Correct.
We follow each other on social media, so I always see her interviews like every time. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, before we start, I got a funny question.
Okay.
Is it like a thing that hockey players just have to say, we need to get the puck deep every single interview? Is that just a thing or what? Or is that just me?
So funny. Okay. So like there's certain things that hockey players do during interviews that like are like telltale signs. Like just like honestly, yeah, we just gotta get pucks deep, pucks behind net, put bodies on bodies, slow down the opponents. Like those are literally the things. It's every single interview. I know what they're gonna say, but I have to ask it. I have to be like, okay, like what do you have to do in the next like period to score? Like it's scoring opportunities, and they're just like, no, we just gotta get pucks deep, pucks behind net. I'm like, can we think of anything else besides literally that? Like anything else?
Oh, that's so funny.
They're infamous for that. They do that all the time. It's horrible.
All right, that's so funny. Okay, so MSU Mavs we're in the Final Four this year, but we're gonna wind it back, get some background on Marissa, tell her, let you guys know why you care about what she has to say. Basically,
you should care.
I mean, you shouldn't care. You should care more about what she has to say about this than me. So,
oof.
So give me your background. How'd you get the gig you're at? Give me some beginnings of interviewing hockey players.
Yeah, so I first started out my first year. I went to MSU, and then I transferred to Bethany Lutheran College in Mankato. It's a Division III college. They actually partner with MSU and do all of the broadcasting. So it's called like Maverick Hockey Weekend, or used to be. But all of our students, so like everything you see on like Flow TV or CCHA TV, is run by students. So the cameras, the camera angles, everything, like the TD operations, like everything you see, like it's run at Bethany. So it's pretty cool. So that's how I got the first like ever thing. I was like, someone pointed me that direction. They thought that I'd be good. I talked to one of the guys, Greg, who used to work at ESPN, by the way. Sick flex. He used to run Monday Night Football. It's super cool. It's so awesome. Sick, okay. Right? He's the coolest guy ever, trust me. And then he kind of just like gave me the mic and was like, hey, you're gonna do this. And from there I just started doing interviews with like Coach Hastings and like, Parker Toomey, Nick Rivera, Mark Michaelis, young freshman Dryden McKay, young freshman like Julian Napravnik. Literally, like all these young guys were the first year that I started doing it. It's so funny to grow with them. So just started doing that in college, and then took a year off, started working at KYC. It's a news station in Mankato, and then just from there it was super like I don't want to watch my like first couple of years of interviews because they're literally horrible, even though I know
come on,
I literally can't, but like I know it was good. Also, like
that's so funny.
It's funny, and then I forget. Also, like during my time there, I was a senior. I actually, you guys, I don't know if anyone's a big hockey fan of MSU, but we have this podcast called Maverick Hockey Live Podcast. It's with Shane Frederick, but that's what I started. So I actually did that podcast and started it from the ground up my senior year, and like brought on hockey players and did the podcasting and all the editing, and it was super, super fun. But now Shane does that because his hockey knowledge, he used to work for the Mankato Free Press, and he's so good at sports and college hockey. So he knows his stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I started, I guess.
Okay. We like it. We love it.
We love it.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Okay,
I love
perfect.
It. Oh, it's so awesome. It's so much fun.
That's awesome. All right. Well then, okay, so we're up to now. So we're gonna start with this season. Give me like some regular season highlights, how it went, ups and downs. I used to go to all the hockey games, right?
I love hockey games.
The best part was having a recreational beverage or two and going to the hockey games.
I literally can never even relate because I can't drink, obviously, on the job. When I was a freshman at MSU, I actually went to a couple games, but not knowing like a lick about hockey. I was just like there. I was like, ooh, yeah, hockey, sports, beer, ooh. And now I'm like working them every single day, you know? So it's kind of like full circle. But this season's been really fun, like a different role. Like obviously I interview the guys, and I've been doing that for however long. I do intermission interviews. So in between the first and second period of the games, but also I've been the digital content manager. So I post all of our digital video stuff on the web. So like usually like I'll be posting our stuff on socials, like all the Instagram stories you see during the games, that's me. Like all of like, you know, some of the tweets like that are tweeted out like that, some of them are mine, right? But Instagram's the one I mainly have control over. All the hype videos that we post, like I post those and come up with the captions. So that was like the new role that I had this year. That was super fun. And then obviously I like got into the season, and I was doing doing my stuff and just kind of getting my like, how do I like get back after this, after a year off? Like what new things do I have to do? And I was doing an sit down interview with Reggie Lutz, because he was like really like had a strong start through, I think it was like UMass and St. Cloud, and you know, we were just doing a sit down. Then I started asking him some fun questions at the end, and I was like, oh, like I could make this like a series every single week. Like maybe we go like, who are the Mavs? And from there, that like just blew up. And then I started doing Maverick Minute and kind of like giving everyone like, which is weird because Maverick Minute's always 2 minutes long. And it's literally always 2 minutes long. It's never Maverick Minute.
What are you gonna call it, Maverick 2 minute or what?
Literally,
like,
right?
You got
Maverick
to just roll
like,
it. Yeah,
it hits with it.
Too good of a name. Too good of a name.
It's too good of a name just to do that. So I think that's funny. But then, you know, we did that this year, and those are the two things we've done this year that have been like crazy amazing. But the experience that's been different this year than any other year that I've worked is that like I'm super close with the guys. And we've kind of we've all created that relationship. Like I'm around them like a lot, you know, I got to know their ins and outs. And then because of who are the Mavs, like I got to know all these different things about them. Like obviously Josh, like in his free time when he's back in San Diego, Josh Grohl like loves to surf. Right. And he was also like, his dad's in the military, so he would move around like a lot. Right. And then you have obviously, like Connor Grega. I did him in like his, like it was the second Who Are the Mavs, like a first official one. So we got to learn about Connor a little bit more. But my favorite, probably one we ever did, was Will Hillman. He was so funny. He was literally, it's just hilarious because like you get to know all these guys. Like his favorite movie is Talladega Nights, right? So he can quote that like word for word. So that was like super cool because I got to know all the guys through Who Are the Mavs. And then the season progressed and everything kind of went on. And it was just like so much fun to learn the guys and like do it. And I can't believe it's like over. But that was probably like the best thing about this year, is just doing things in a different way. And the fact that we gained literally like when I started the job, we had like 7,000 followers on Instagram. Now we have 18,000. So it's like super tight.
I told you she was good at people. Come on.
It's literally like, and like I am only as good as my team. So like our digital content team is absolutely unreal. So yeah, I did a lot. Like I did the posting and I did Instagram, but the guys who make the hype videos and actually like film my interviews, like they are so unreally good, but they're all students. So it's just like, I'm humbled every day because there's kids who are like 3 years younger than me and better at this stuff than me. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, talent's tough. Kids are talented these days. Makes me feel old. Honestly.
Makes you feel real old.
Sheesh. Everyone that's older than us is going to be laughing at us right now.
Like,
But
you're not that old. I'd be like, listen, shut up. I feel
the classic story. All right. So how about one last regular season question. How about the play? How was the performance? Like, give me regular season consistency of play compared to past years.
Oh yeah, just like of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
This group obviously is a really special group. We made it to the national championship first time this year, but regular season play, looking at it, you knew it was gonna be a different season by when we went to UMass, and we didn't just win game 1 on Friday. Friday. We won and we swept them at UMass, opening season for college hockey for them, defending national champions, right? That was like unprecedented, I would say. They're dropping the banner for their national championship and we go out and beat them. So that from there, that point on, it was like, whoa. And we had one of the hardest season opening like schedules in college hockey. I'm not gonna lie, like the first like how many weeks, like I'm looking at it right now actually because I want to be nostalgic, like UMass, St. Cloud, Providence, Michigan, those were kind of like the games that we were playing in the first couple weeks, and we lost to St. Cloud and to Michigan of how many of those games. So I mean, from there I knew it was really good, but the consistency of play, this team is really deep, or was really deep. I mean, you could go 1, 2, 3, 4 lines and it would be absolutely packed. Andre Pavel, who was on the 3rd line, could be your best player of the night. Will Hillman on the 4th line, or even a scratch who doesn't play most of the season, comes in late, could be your best player. You're seeing guys that like Sam Morton on the 2nd line, like David Cilia on the 3rd line, who's just absolutely dumb good, right? These guys who come from the 3rd and 4th line and they're just amazing. And it's kind of, that was the consistency you saw from this team, is that they meshed well together. They were really close. Puck management was great, aggressive, always, obviously have Dryden McKay, so brick wall, but I would just say consistently consistent, and knowing who they are was kind of how this regular season was. And it definitely showed in our record.
That's what I was going to touch on. It's just it was past regular seasons have been good, but ups and downs at points. I felt like this was like we were the best team. We knew we were the best team. Yes. It was just like boom, 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 boom.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. So, exactly.
I'm glad I wasn't too far off on that.
No,
one.
You're literally spot on.
Okay, so now tournament time. Tournament time comes. Give me some lead up, and then we'll talk about the Gopher game.
Yeah, I mean,
lead up, Gopher game.
Yes, so going to it, right? I gotta look back. It seems like forever ago, you guys, but obviously opening round, Albany, New York, which kind of was a surprise because we thought we were gonna play AIC the entire time, and then we got Harvard, which kind of to us was everyone's like, oh, that sucks for you guys, right? Because we thought we were gonna get an easy. They still made it to the show, so the tournament, so they're still pretty good, but easier than Harvard. And then we showed out. I mean, yeah, it was a little stressful because we were up by 3 goals, and then we they scored 2 unanswered, almost 3 unanswered goals, and then we get another one with Andre Pavel, and it gets close, and it's close the entire time, and then we win. But that was a really stressful game, so I was like, okay, if we can get through that, we can get to the next round. So Albany was really, in my eyes, tough, almost tougher than the Minnesota game, if I'm going to be real with you. I personally thought that the Notre Dame game and the Harvard game were tougher than the Minnesota game. Sorry, Gopher fans, you fell flat. But we'll get into that in a little bit. But I thought the Notre Dame game, with obviously Nathan Smith's sole goal winning, then taking us to the Frozen Four, was a battle of how can we contain a dominant Notre Dame team, and how can we do it for a full 60 minutes. And that's what we did the entire time. I mean, Nate scored late in the first period. It wasn't like it was a last second play. It was late in the first period, and we just held them for 2 periods then on. So Albany really impressed me, and Notre Dame impressed me. But, then we found out, and I was literally in Buffalo Wild Wings covering them because I was in Mankato, and I was jumping up and down, just screaming. And the entire Mankato was going crazy because we were going to the Frozen Four. And it was awesome. If I could relive that moment and, the U of M game, I would definitely do that.
That's awesome. Yeah,
that was so cool.
the U of M game was my best personal tournament moment. I was in North Loop, Minneapolis, and there was just Gopher jerseys, right, just everywhere. And I'm the only one. I got my Mavs sweatshirt and jean jackets. I'm just rocking the Mavs sweatshirt, just ripping and roaring, and everyone's just giving me dirty looks the whole time.
Oh, it's so great. That's like the best. I like literally when you told me that, I was like, yes.
Yes,
a king, a king, literally, because like that was the thing. So, oh my god, funny story, right? I have to tell this. So, my dad's best friend is a Maverick fan, but also like a Gopher fan. So, he went to Boston with Matt Koloska. I believe his name is Koloska. I always mess it up, but he used to be a former Gopher and literally I think he scored the game-winning goal to like actually get them a ring. I don't know. Matt's a national champion. So if you know him, he's from the 2004 era. So Matt and my dad's best friend, John, came over to Boston. So we meet up for them with a drink early. I think it's probably like, I want to say it's like Wednesday, right? So we go to all of the things that are happening. We're at this thing called the Greatest Bar. Well, I didn't know there was a Minnesota like pre-game party the day before the big game.
Oh, no.
And we're in Minnesota State stuff, and there is Golden Gopher fans everywhere. And Goldie's there, the cheerleaders are there, the band. Yes, Goldie. I literally have a picture. I have a picture of me going like this, like the fuck is that? Sorry if I'm not supposed to swear, but to Goldie, like this was. So I was like, I'm a Maverick fan, and I work for the Mavericks amidst all of the Gopher fans. So I do get that feeling because
that's hilarious.
It's kind of like that meme where everyone's like chilling and I'm in the corner like they don't know we're gonna win.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's my funny story. Hopefully you guys like it as much, but I did get a picture with Goldie because I was too fangirling, even though I probably shouldn't have been.
That's okay.
It's Goldie.
It's Goldie. You got it. You got to do it. All right. So Gopher game, Final Four game, obviously goes amazing. What's the vibe after that? What's the team vibe after that game?
After we win?
Yeah.
It's super awesome. You know, the guys are super pumped, as they should be.
Yeah.
You know, we're shipping off to our first ever national championship game appearance. This is program history. This is what they've been working for all season. Some of these guys their entire life to get to this moment, right? Like Wyatt Amott and Andy Carroll and even Dryden and Shaq and Reggie came back.
It's a grind.
You know, it is, and especially in college hockey, this is the hardest stage to get to, and we made it. And the guys are so jacked, but they also like were so hopeful, and they knew, you know, I know that, you know, whatever happens, but they were all convinced at that moment that we were walking in to, you know, what we thought was a national championship. So the guys were incredibly jacked, and it was a good time, and it was fun. And, you know, it was funny because all my a lot of like my friends went to like the bars after. Well, what you guys don't know is obviously like Michigan and Denver played, and then that went into overtime. So I didn't get out of the arena Boston time until like 12:30 because we had to go to the press conference and we had to upload. So I didn't get out of like the arena until like 12:31, and it was crazy night. So but yeah, it was like, and I was working the entire time, so I was like, shit, like dang it, like I want to go like have a beer or do something, but duty kind of called. So yeah, it was awesome just to kind of have at least that moment where it was super fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, now we got to get to it, right? We got to get to the sad part of it.
Horrible.
Give me your Denver game takes.
Oh, Denver game takes. Honestly, bawled my eyes out. It was rough. Honestly, it was really rough because, like I said to the guys, you know, I've been on podcasts with the last couple of days. 20 minutes. 20 minutes is all we needed to play. 20 minutes is all we needed to do. We had one goal. Would have been great to get two. If we would have gone up 2-0, we would have won that game. And I'm telling you that as a matter of fact. If we would have gotten another puck in the back of the net, we would have won. It's just how this team is. But give it to Denver. I mean, Denver's very, you know, defensive team, as they should. So it was hard to get in, you know, their line. but also you have to look at it like in the first couple periods, we were out shooting Denver like crazy. We were. I
Yeah.
mean, it was like we were out shooting them like a ton. And like the puck wouldn't go in the back of the net because their goalie was just on fire. That's how it was. Oh, he was on. He won, as you should be. It's a national championship game, right? So, it was hard because I look at that game and I think, when their goal went in to the back of the net, I'm a pessimist. I'm not super optimistic. So I was
Minnesota sports fan pessimist. Huh.
like, really?
That's kind of
Really?
weird.
Isn't
Wouldn't
that
expect
like,
that at all.
I was like, So literally, like, I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And then they scored again, and I was like, mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. And, I think I knew in that second goal that I think that is when that was the turning point because.
Was that the 3-on-1?
Yeah.
Where they got it wide. It was just perfect passing.
Yeah, I think it was the 3-on-1 to go up 3-1. I think
Okay.
because I think so. I can't remember if it was 2-1 or to go up 2 or go up. I can't remember, but yeah, I do because we made that turnover in the neutral zone. We made a faulty play because we were chasing and we were trying to cover too much and we were trying to do too much that we made that turnover and which caused then that 3-on-1, and I literally was sitting front row, like right on the ice, right? Like right in the glass. And I saw it with my own 2 eyes and they were doing it. And I was like, this is going to go in. Like, this is too good. I'm like, I know college hockey, and it went in and I was like, yep. And I left. After that, I left. I didn't see any of the empty netters. Like, I couldn't bear it, right? Like, I literally couldn't bear it. So I was out crying, walking around. All of the like fans, like, know me, right? Because that's just how it is. So they're hugging me and they're saying nice things to me, and it was super hard because like this was our year. There is no other year besides like the Nick Rivera, Parker Toomey, Mark Michaelis, Dryden McKay's a freshman year where we got canceled. That 2020 year where it got canceled because of COVID. That's when I also thought we could have won it. But this was the year we were the most complete team. Like we played well, but it just seemed like, Denver was like, okay, like we're all in. And it seemed like Minnesota State was a little bit stunned that they came at us so hard. And especially since we had minimal shots on goal in the third period because Denver wouldn't let us pass the neutral zone at all. So, I mean, kudos to Denver. They're the better team. They won. It still hurts, but it's been, a good amount of time. It's coming up on a week here, so
we're kind of coming back to even now. But
it is. It still really hurts really bad. I can't like scroll past Denver stuff on like Twitter without like literally getting violent.
Yeah.
But they kudos to them. They're a great team. I mean, they came at us pretty strong. Obviously, you have Bobby Brink, a Hobey Baker finalist. We had a Hobey Baker finalist as a forward going against a Hobey Baker winner in the net, right? It was great hockey. And they have a lot of NHL picks on that team, and they're a great team, but it stunk so bad because so we go out and they lose, and I saw all of the guys, like I went back down to the glass, and I saw all of the guys crying, and I have never like my heart hasn't broke like. It was horrible because when you develop a relationship with the guys, you're with them all season. Like it was so tough, and then I'm super close with a lot of the parents because they watch it. So I literally have met all of the parents, know all of them. They all love me because they get to see a side of their kid that no one's ever really seen before besides them. And oh my gosh, Andy Carroll's mom and Andy Carroll's girlfriend and Julian Napravnik's parents and his brother and his girlfriend and all of the like it was so like and I hugged Nick Rivera, former like player, and I was like it was just horrible because all the guys everyone was just like crap. So yeah, it was rough. But hopefully we rebuild. Hopefully we still have Hastings. Hopefully,
In
things go
Hastings we
our way.
trust. In Hastings we trust.
In Hastings, we do trust. Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
it's also been interesting to watch as we move to maybe a little bit of off-season talk, postseason, transfers. We haven't had a transfer for portals yet or anything like that we've announced, but obviously now we know Nathan Smith is a Coyote. Super exciting. He literally flew out like he didn't they had a like a farewell thing on Monday. Literally spent Sunday with the guys, wasn't at like celebration thing on Monday, but he was signed with the Coyotes on like Monday and played on like Tuesday or something. It was like nuts. So and Wyatt Ahmed just signed with the Colorado Avalanche for the AHL. Julian Napravnik just signed. Jack McNeely signed today. Like we're having like those are already 4 like professional contracts being signed. So it's super cool to see. And
Yeah.
then it just shows how great the team was. But yeah, the postseason and the signings, I think you're going to see a little bit more action on that front. I don't know anything because my job is done, so I can't give you any special deets on anything.
That's all right. We actually only brought you on for inside deets, so sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
You're shut
Can't do
down
that.
now.
I can tell you.
Oh man, that's funny. For our non-hockey listeners, I just want to give a little perspective too. This is a pretty small D2 school for every other sport but hockey.
Mhm.
So it's like when we're getting guys in the NHL, like doing this on national level stuff, it's pretty sick, and we all just get crazy pumped because it's all we can get excited for up here. So
Honestly,
we love that. That's yeah.
It hasn't been this big like this program in Minnesota State. Like it's not like Mankato isn't huge. If you look up Mankato, it's not a big campus, but Mike Hastings today is the anniversary of him coming here 10 years ago, right? And just him changing the program in 10 years to what he had it as to what it is now has been absolutely extraordinary. But he has really revolutionized college hockey and this program to what it is now. I mean, people probably think like Minnesota State, like, oh yeah, that's like has to be like a big time like thing. It's like, no, this is the only division like one,
Yeah, literally.
like program, but and like women's hockey too. But like hockeys are the only
Yeah.
Division I thing.
Literally.
So it's like we're not big.
And coming from other schools not wanting us even in the conference because they didn't think we were good enough to where we are now. That's another reason I wanted that national championship so bad.
So
it's just
bad.
that little just knife turner in there for everybody. So
Oh yeah, some of the guys like I was interviewing like I think it was Brendan Furry, however long ago. He said a really good answer that I just like really liked. He was just like, a lot of people look down to us. A lot of people don't think anything of us. A lot of people look at us as underdogs for Minnesota State, but we're here to prove to them this year that we can be here and we should be here and we shouldn't be overlooked. And that is like the epitome. Like I don't know what it is, but like everyone looks over this hockey program, Minnesota State. Like not like we haven't like this is our second like consecutive Frozen Four trip, right? Like yeah, we just last year just won our first like game, but it's not like we didn't do good. It's crazy to me. So that was like that's like the epitome of like what I feel like Minnesota State hockey is like to all the other NCHCs.
I agree. Ugh. It was awesome. It just makes you spunky, feeling getting the dubs. All right, now it's time, I guess. I gotta get to Bus's questions.
Okay.
I'll do all these extra work.
I have to do all this stuff, even though he's not here. Wow.
Yes. Well, we'll cover a couple of things we talked about already, so feel free to cover what you need to.
Okay, perfect.
First question. Talk about the atmosphere of the Frozen Four. What was it like? Who had the best fans? Who was a couple good ones actually?
So literally keep us by my side at all times. Isn't it pretty?
Let's go.
Isn't it awesome? No, it's super cool. I didn't get much like because I was working so much, so it was kind of like oh crap. But I mean, it was fun. It was like and it was so different than anything. Like if you obviously you went to Maverick games, so you know how crazy and awesome that is. Basically think of the Maverick experience and like what we do at like Civic Center if anyone's ever been to a game like there, but like at Boston for our games. Like we for Minnesota State brought, our band, our mascot, our cheerleaders, all of Mankato. There was we were the most represented community, I would say, out of the four for fans, out of all of the big wigs. And it was kind of fun to see, but it was almost like chilling, right? Like I got there on Tuesday and I walk into TD Gardens and it's like, whoa, like we're going to play here. Like we're going to do it. And then you get to game days and it's just, there's hockey fans everywhere. Like we went and had, a pregame kind of party at the Greatest Bar, so it was just packed with Maverick fans. And you walk over and they had the red carpet experience, which I don't know if you've seen videos. The coolest thing ever. So basically in the front of TD, like, is the entrance and they go in.
Yep.
And that's where everyone can go in. So they have escalators. They rolled out a red carpet up the escalators.
Let's go.
The bus rolls in. All of the fans get right there and just start cheering people on. And the guys walk through like a sea of Maverick fans and like any fans really. And that was the coolest experience. That was my favorite part. I'm not gonna lie.
That was your favorite part?
It was
screaming.
God, the Maverick fans and like even any fan, like it was nuts, especially during the national tournament, but during the Frozen 4-1 too. I mean, God, it was cool to see. And the guys' face, they were so happy and they were so like, whoa, like this is crazy, like how much, purple there is and gold there is. But yeah, and then walking in, obviously, like caught a little bit of the Denver Michigan game. That was really cool because it's just an experience like no other. Like it's like the college hockey Super Bowl, right? It's like Super Bowl college hockey, right?
Yep.
So you have like North Dakota fans in there and you've got St. Cloud fans and you've got fans that like you're like Boston College fans, and I don't know if you saw, I didn't see it with my own eyes, but I saw it on Twitter. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. I'm going to let you know. It's a jersey.
Oh no, I'll be prepared.
So it was a Michigan jersey.
Okay.
And it was a Denver jersey. And then it was a Denver jersey. And then it was a Michigan jersey. And they did the same for Minnesota State. And then it was a Minnesota State's jersey. So they cut all of the four jerseys in half and then sewed them together who they were facing. So it was literally like half of it was
kind of disturbing.
It was like, I'm sorry, I don't know if anyone was like, oh, that's a good idea, but like there is only one winner and this isn't like everyone gets along. Like I literally hated that. So
everyone gets a consolation prize.
Everyone gets like a funny jersey thing. No. So that's kind of how it is though. I mean, just fans of college hockey going to watch it. So that was, the atmosphere was unlike anything I've ever been to. And I've been to the Minneapolis Miracle. So like put it into perspective, it was like probably like, I think still Minneapolis Miracle might be up there, but then like it's right there with one of the greatest like sporting atmospheres and events I've been to.
If it was on par with Minneapolis Miracle, man, I wasn't. Yeah. I was at a bar and I hugged more random people than I've ever hugged in my life.
Oh man, that one was nuts. Oh, that was an experience.
All right. Oh, bus gets depressing now.
Oh god.
Given the team's loss of multiple seniors, how do you think the team will look next year?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a good question, though. It really is tough because, multiple seniors. Reggie Lutz, Jack McNeely, Wyatt Ahmet, Andy Carroll, Julian Napravnik, Dryden McKay being the biggest one, right? And then also Nathan Smith, who is a junior. So those are right then and there. Julian was third with NCAA scoring, or in like points, I mean. Nathan Smith was obviously up there, but he was on par to be number one, but he had to go to the Olympics. Flex. And then obviously Dryden McKay, as we know, he'll be Baker finalist and winner. Mike Richter finalist. Career shutout here and there. Just a brick wall. Amazing. Just a stud. But this team is gonna look different. And then you do have to factor in, and again, I don't know much on the signings and who we can all be like, who we think is going to go and what we think is going to do. But there's a couple like players that you're maybe going to think, oh, will they enter the transfer portal? Will they get being looked at? Like there's a lot of these players that are good enough to get looked at to go to the show that are juniors. So this Maverick team could be entirely different next year. And that's what's kind of the scary part. So until we get through it, like, obviously, also we're losing Benton Mass because he's a senior, so he's probably going to go somewhere. I don't know where he's signing, but he's probably not going to stay. And, Dryden's going to leave. I wouldn't think Dryden McKay is going to stay a 5th year. He hasn't been signed yet, which is shocking to me, but I wouldn't think so. I think he'll go to the AHL for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if he go to the NHL. Who knows? But I think it's gonna be a rebuilding year, in my honest opinion. It sucks to hear, sucks to say, but I think we're gonna have to rely on Aaron Pionk, who is coming in from Hermantown, obviously an absolute stud. His brother's in the show and is absolute stud in the show. We're gonna line him defensively. We got a new, goaltender coming in that's gonna vie with Andrew Miller, Keenan Ranciere, for that spot that Dryden has. We're gonna be talking, just new talent, right? That we're gonna have to rebuild on. It's gonna be, I'm gonna be looking up and then also seeing how Bennett Zamolik and Will Hillman and Tanner Edwards and Stephen Bellini, how they're gonna step into this role. Zach, Brendan Olsen, Zach Krajnik. I always mess up his name because the team calls him Crash. We call him Crash,
but it's crazy.
It's like it's something different. It's very, very, very. I should know this.
That's awesome.
Krajnik, Zach Kraj, not Crash. It's so confusing. Now the guys have messed me up because they call it, like they have me calling him Crash. Zach, if you're listening to this, I love you. I'm so sorry. Please, also, you owe me, your dad told me you owe me pierogies. And I plan to get those. I've never had one, but apparently explain it to me on Who Are the Mavs. But anyways, I think that we're going to be looking at a completely different team than what we're used to. So definitely different vibes than we've seen the last probably 4 years. And it's going to be, if we make it to the Frozen Four, I would be a little shocked.
Yeah.
But knowing Mike Hastings and how good he is, and
like
how
say,
much of
and Mike we trust.
And Mike we trust. He's an amazing recruiter. Him and Todd Cannot. I love him. So yeah, that's my take. I think it's going to look different, and I think it's going to be a little bit of shell shock for these Maverick fans out there who know a really great team for years and years and years.
Yeah, it's all right. They get surprises.
Yeah, right. We always need rebuilding years.
Last one's fun. What's your favorite part of covering Maverick hockey in your career?
Okay. In my career, obviously this Boston trip has been up there. Amazing experiences. But one highlight that was absolutely like unreal for me was, do you remember the game where we were losing to Bowling Green in the championship, and then we came back and we won, and Nick Rivera scored like the last second goal and everything was nuts and it was crazy? That's one of my favorite college hockey like games that I've worked, because it was just like so nuts. Like it was just, it was unreal. It was super cool. So that one was super awesome. But I mean, I would say too, like getting to know the guys, perfecting my craft and my brand, but getting to know the guys, who they are on the ice, but who they are off the ice. And also like doing Who Are the Mavs this year and having the parents and the girlfriends and the fan base like know who I am and like love me and be like, oh my God, you're Marissa Voss. Hi, how are you? Like, I love you. Like, we watch what you do. And I'm like sitting there like, huh? Like,
let's go. Yeah.
Literally, no, sometimes like I've been in, like, I was at Underground like this year and I would just be like, drinking my beer, like, be like, oh, whatever. And then people would be like, are you Marissa Voss? And I was like, no. No. And they're like, no,
don't talk to me. I'm enjoying my beer. Goodbye.
They're like, no, I love what you do. I'm like I'm a huge Maverick fan. So like, I don't want to be like, I think that I'm not as super like, ooh, look at me, I'm cool. But it's just a cool, humbling experience to know that what I'm doing and what I love is also people are loving it as well. So that's probably been the most humbling and amazing, like, favorite part of the job, is that people are actually care about what I do, and it's super cool, right?
It's so cool when you get that experience.
Yeah, and also just giving the guys a lot of crap. That's also fun.
That's awesome.
It's so much fun to give those guys crap. Honestly, if we're gonna be real, man. Like they're such like even during warm-ups, my favorite thing is watching like Jake Livingstone be the goofiest guy. He literally like he does this thing. where they'll do do warm-ups, whatever, and then they'll go like backpedal into something, and he'll start like a monkey, like wah! Like just break out, and we're talking like loud, and he'll do that. Yeah, it's fun to see. And then Andre Pavel, and then like Jake will go like this, right?
Yep.
And then Josh will go like this, and Andre will be the last one in the lines because each line has something different to do each time they go down and back. So it's like a handshake or a something or a fast feet. And like once they're done with one of them, Andre will literally like jump and just like jump into their arms. Like he'll literally go full on like airplane. It's the coolest thing. So that's also been super cool to see. Like, oh, the guys are super goofy and they're not just hockey all the time. Like
they're
it's a
real
fun vibe. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Before I let you give your final thoughts, I gotta ask you a super nerdy question, and I hate these type of questions because it's kind of a name drop question, but I have to ask.
Okay.
John Butchergross. You talked to him. I know you did. Give me the Bucci vibe, because that was like, if I just imagine myself in your shoes, and that's like whoa.
It was literally so like, okay, honestly, it started way before that even picture was taken, right? And even like anything, but like obviously the DMs, like, so I tweeted out like when I was in Boston, I'm like, the one thing I want to do, like obviously win a championship, is meet John Buccigrass. Like I love Bucci Mane. I love what he does. And he literally DMs me and goes, "Hey Marissa, how did practice go today?" I was like this, that, and I was in the greatest bar. Oh, dude, literally. I was in the greatest bar during that gopher thing, like when all the gophers were there, and I just started jumping up and down, like screaming. And I didn't even care who saw me. I was jumping up and down, screaming in the booth. And all my friends and like everyone were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I was literally dumb. I was dumb. And then we just started talking, and one of his buddy owns the greatest bar, and we were just talking about hockey and, talking, and he's like, "Yeah, if you like see me, like we'll have to meet up, like we'll have to talk, like, and then we were just casually messaging on like Twitter. Like it was like a vibe. He's like, I'm like, "Yeah, what's your game plan for tomorrow?" Or to like, today, because it was game day for Minnesota and then U of M. And I was like, he's like, "Oh yeah, just ate a burger, gonna go back to the hotel, gonna shower, get back to the TD for game day." Like it was so cool. And then, I'm sitting, I think it was on Friday night or whatever night it was, and we're just sitting there and we're like, okay, whatever. And all of a sudden, I'm at the greatest bar, and who comes down the stairs as I'm like pretty well off? John. I was like, "Hey." I like run around and I'm like, "John." And he's like, "Marissa." And I'm like, "Huh?" "You know my name?" I was like, "Can I get a picture with you?" And he's like, yeah. So I get a picture. Obviously, I look horrible. He looks horrible. Flash wasn't on. It was very like we were very like drinking. It was very picture. But like it was just the fact that like now we know each other. But yeah, it was like the coolest thing ever. And obviously Bucci had the tightest shirt on. Like it was so tight. Like, come on, man.
At least 3 sizes too
small. It was like like that man is probably a large and he was wearing a medium or something of that nature, like one size too small, but it's Bucci, so you have to love him, you know what I mean? But
yes, it
was so tight.
That's the crap I live for, honestly. That's the crap I live for right there.
I didn't think like anything was gonna happen when I sent out that tweet, and then he just DMs me like still dreaming about that. That was so cool.
That's awesome. All right, so I'll let you leave us with anything else before I close up. Give us something inspirational,
something inspirational.
Mother Teresa-esque,
Okay.
Whatever level you want to be on.
I think I just want to say like this year has been like super awesome for Minnesota fans in general to have St. Cloud and U of M and Minnesota and and UMD obviously be in representing Minnesota in like the best way possible in college hockey. It's been super fun, but this season was super special for me and all of the guys. And I will never, ever, ever forget it. And I'll never forget these guys. I mean, they're my brothers. They're amazing. And yeah, even though we did loss and people can say what they want to, and people can say, "Oh, Minnesota choked," because a lot of people did say that. And that was rough to See the comments on.
rolls.
Oh yeah. But it was these. They're great guys on the ice as much as off the ice. Dryden McKay is a stellar guy, one of my favorite human beings, as well as all of the other guys. Andy Carroll is amazing. Wyatt Ahmed is amazing. Andre's great. Connor, all of them have great assets, and I'm just grateful that I get the opportunity every day to do what I love with a team that I love. It's awesome. So all I can say is go Wild and go Mavs.
Let's go. We like it. Thank you for being on.
Thank you.
I'm just going to do a little closeout, and honestly, you might as well stay on for this last bit, and then
let's do it.
But thank you. All right, hard-headed fans. That was awesome. I hope you loved that as much as I did. We have another special episode this week. We're tripling the content. Crazy.
Ooh.
NBA playoffs start on Saturday. We haven't done our predictions yet, so we're going to slide them in. It'll be posted Saturday morning for y'all to see. Other thing is, I got to shout out one of my great friends because he made me this, and it is sick. Took our logo, put it on a coffee cup, screen printed it. Shout out to John. You're a boss. Coffee cup and cup holder and coasters.
Oh,
super
look at that.
Sweet. Awesome.
Oh, that's
we love
weird.
it. A couple of new things. Hopefully we'll get this merched up. We got a lead on that, so we'll let you know in the next week or two. But yeah, so we love you, hard-headed fans. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful night.
Peace.